You ever feel like you're being slammed by life from all sides? Like no matter what you fix, something else breaks. No matter what problems you solve, another problem arises. You just want to breathe for a minute. You just want to come up for air. You just want a day where everything goes smoothly. And you start asking yourself, is it always going to be like this? Is this just my life? Is this just how things are? Listen, I've been there, and I still feel like that at times. Even walking with God, even being blessed, even building wealth, even doing what He's called me to do. Some days the pressure is real, but if you stay with me and watch until the end of this video, I truly believe your life will never be the same again. And I believe you're about to receive a level of mental and spiritual fortitude that's going to carry you through any season. Because I had moments where I bit off more than I could chew. But here's the thing, God told me to do it. And when God tells you to do something, it doesn't always feel easy. It doesn't always feel peaceful on the outside, but we can have peace on the inside during the war. It doesn't always feel comfortable. Sometimes God calls you into pressure because pressure is where He forms you. And this is where He showed me. Most believers never understand. You cannot pray for wealth and then run from pressure. There are really only two ways to look at your life. Why me or why not me? Your perspective determines your altitude. And Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So how you interpret pressure determines how high God can elevate you. So let's break down some strongholds here that have been holding some of us back so that you can increase fully and receive what God has been trying to send to you. So let's get into it. A while back, we bought our first property. We were hyped up about it. We prayed over it. We watched it being built from scratch. And that's a blessing, right? But even in the blessing, there was pressure. Once we got in there, it was a new home. You would expect everything to be new. But the tub still leaked. The shower leaked behind the wall. Brand new house. And we buy new things because we want less problems, right? But life doesn't work like that all the time. And at the time, here's what God was showing me. You can buy a new house, but you can't buy a pressure-free life. Why? Because you cannot call yourself an overcomer unless you have something to overcome. In Revelation chapter 12, verse 11 says, they overcame Him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. You cannot have a testimony without a test. You cannot grow faith without fire. You cannot develop strength without struggle. You cannot build resilience without resistance. Ease doesn't produce character. Comfort doesn't create capacity. And convenience doesn't create champions. Pressure builds you. Pressure forms you. Pressure shapes the version of you who can hold wealth. And the most dangerous thing is this. The enemy watches your response to pressure. You're praying for wealth. You're praying for increase. You're praying for financial breakthrough. You're trying to get bills caught up. But then life hits you with some red days, unexpected bills, slow weeks, setbacks, delays. And the enemy sits back like, let's see what he'll do now. Let's see what she'll do now. Will they slow down? Will they get discouraged? Will they fold? Will they stop sowing? Will they stop building? Or will you fight? 1 Peter 5:8 says, your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. May devour means he needs permission. Who does he devour? The ones who give up, the ones who fold, the ones who run from pressure. Hear me. The enemy doesn't attack your money. He attacks your resilience. Because if he can break your resilience, you'll break your own destiny. One of the biggest revelations I ever had came during MMA training. I was rolling, sparring, getting sweaty, pushing through exhaustion, taking hits, giving hits, fighting through fatigue. And God told me, you fight good on the mats. You push through the pain. You show grit in the gym. But when life hits you like that, you don't fight the same way. You let it do whatever it wants to you. And that stung. I realized I was a fighter physically, but not always in life outside of the gym. And 2 Timothy 2:3 says, endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. And that's when something shifted inside me. If I can fight on the mats, I can fight in real life as well. If I can push through pressure physically, I can push through pressure spiritually and mentally. Life will give you exactly what you settle for or exactly what you fight for. When you learn to fight unto the Lord, like David did with Goliath, you start to learn how to love the fight. You have to begin to learn how to love the fight, because the fight is where God creates warriors. And you work unto the Lord. It's an honor to fight unto the Lord. And this is what resilience is. So let's look at it. Resilience is how fast you can take a shot and bounce back. Proverbs 24:16 says, though a righteous man falls 7 times, he rises again. Resilience is spiritual toughness, mental strength, emotional discipline, and focus under fire. It's directing your energy into the right lanes, income-producing activities, purpose-driven work, guarding your focus, protecting your peace, optimizing your day, cutting distractions, moving with intention. We're not here just to live life. We're here to fight through it, to win with God. Either you fight or you settle. Your problems will either strip you or develop you. So let's go back to the house situation. That shower leak we had, the head supervisor came out acting clueless. He was giving me problems like, oh, I don't know how to fix this. It's too much, or I can't do anything with it. But I knew exactly what the issue was. He didn't want to redo the tile. He just didn't want to do the work. He tried to brush it off, but I kept bringing it back up 4 different times, 4 confrontations, 4 pushbacks, 4 moments I had the chance to either fold or keep pushing. Then one day he came in fixing some other things and his whole attitude changed. He said, you were right. Then he says, I actually do tile work on the side. That's my specialty. And I said in my head, the enemy is real. He will lie to you to see if you will settle. John 8:44 calls the enemy the father of lies. His goal is simple. If he can get you to settle, you'll never experience the increase God wants to give you. And this same mentality shows up in business and wealth. You stop uploading because the last video tanked. You stop digging, you stop researching, you stop sharpening your skills, you stop moving 1% better each day. And then you wonder, why isn't wealth coming? Have you let lack of accomplishment destroy your resilience? The next shot you take can be your breakthrough. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Now let's go through the spiritual part. Isaiah 40:31 says, those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Wait doesn't mean sit around doing nothing. In Hebrew, it means to entwine yourself with God, to get filled, to get charged, to get fueled. Before you fight, before you build, before you take on pressure, you get filled with God's love. Let him overtake you. Let him stabilize your emotions. Let his presence bring peace. Let his love anchor your spirit. Because when you go into battle full, you fight different. Most people fight life on empty. That's why pressure crushes them. But when you wait on the Lord, get filled, and then go to war, you become dangerous. And the enemy knows it. So let's talk about the law of detachment, the mental shifts that changed my life forever. The law of detachment I touch on goes hand in hand with worst situation meditation, in which I put in the accelerated mindset training. So the law of detachment, this is a mental fortitude that can help forge your mind in the pressures of life and business. The law of detachment, simply detaching emotionally from any outcome. That means I'm going to war. I'm going through things in my life like a machine. That means I'm going to return to baseline with resilience. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to keep pushing. So if my car breaks down, a deal falls through, okay, for that second, I'll think about it, think of how to fix it. The emotional part, I'm completely detaching from it and moving on to the next thing. When you dwell in the emotional parts of life, you waste time. Some things in life, you may have to grieve, you may have to go through, but you don't stay there. And in worst situation meditation, I talk about thinking about things that you've gone through that were terrible, right? You may have gone through some traumatic experiences. I want you to think about that the next time life seems to get tough. Well, you say to yourself, at least it's not as bad as that. And if I keep going this way, I may go back to that. This stops you from complaining and being comfortable. And when you include the perspective of Jesus dying on the cross, right? You're a soldier in the Lord's army. He died on the cross for you. Nothing that we go through compares to that. Unless we're martyred, obviously. But we haven't been martyred, right? So the rest of our life is easy compared to what he went through. And once you operate in the law of detachment, the worst situation meditation, working unto the Lord, loving the fight, refusing to fold with resilience, you become unstoppable. Keep investing, learning, building, growing, and producing. Show up every day, be consistent, and watch God multiply your faithfulness. This is where the version of you that can hold wealth is forged. And again, detaching emotionally from the results, the setbacks, the delays. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. You're not working for man. You're not working for the applause. You're not working for validation. You're working unto God. So when the pressure hits, I remind myself, this is nothing, again, compared to what Jesus endured on the cross. It's an instant perspective. Jesus faced the cross. I can handle a problem. I can handle a bill. I can handle a setback. I can handle pressure. I cannot be stopped only if I quit. The only way if I lose as if I quit or run out of time. So I buy up every moment like it's my last. And here's the crazy thing. When you master detachment, pressure doesn't break you. Pressure propels you. Isaiah 40:31 says, they will mount up with wings as eagles. When the wind blows, eagles don't fight it. They rise on it. When the winds of life blow, your spiritual altitude should increase. When the heat gets turned up, you get stronger, just like gold purified in fire. 1 Peter 1:7 says, pressure forms you. Look at the early church. Acts 8 shows us the more persecution came, the more they multiplied. Pressure didn't kill them. Pressure activated them. Same with you. Pressure isn't punishment. Pressure is preparation. The enemy uses pressure to whisper, you're overwhelmed. You're not built for this. You should quit. You're failing. You're falling behind. You'll never be wealthy. Lies, all lies. If the enemy is applying pressure, it's because he sees what's coming. He sees your potential. He sees your calling. He sees your future wealth. He sees what God is releasing. And he's trying to get you to fold before you get it. And God is testing you to see. So let me leave you with this. You cannot pray for wealth and run from pressure. You cannot pray for elevation and complain about the stretching. James 1:2-4 says, count it all joy when you face trials, because the testing of your faith produces endurance. Pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is your pathway. And if you embrace it today, everything in your life will begin to shift. And that's it for this message. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. And if you want to sharpen your focus and develop your mindset for more wealth, I invite you to check out my accelerated mindset training. This is the same exact mindset training that changed my whole life, helped me to stay hyper-focused, and taught me how to crush goals like clockwork. And I launched the one-person business digital empire blueprint, where I show you how I built a whole digital income using the principles in the training. Links are down below. And yes, the accelerated mind training is now included in the one-person empire builder blueprint. So you get the 2-for-1. Get it now before the price goes up. And the Power to Get Wealth book is still in progress, pouring everything into it, and it's almost done. And I'm excited about it. Stay tuned. I will be releasing it soon. And if you're not on the early launch list, the link is down below. So stay resilient, stay focused, stay filled, be relentless, and keep building your wealth with the Lord. And that's it for this video again. I'll see you in the next one. Be blessed. I'll see you soon.